Anything's possible.
Oh yeah.
Anything's possible.
It almost seems like we are intentionally deluding ourselves.
Yeah.
But it's not really. It's actually quite.
It's like, it's true. Like, what we talk about is true. And then, even the delusion part, it's still a better strategy.
Oh yeah.
That's how I always get people in to understand it. I'm like, look, if you're not there yet, can you at least understand how believing anything is possible is still a good delusional strategy,
Oh, yeah.
even if you don't fully understand the concept of energy and vibrational frequency and all of that.
Well, you can start from the baseline, because it's quite hard. Tommy does say that anything's possible. When you're just given a scenario, or let's say you're in a street and it's 1 versus 5, you only have one option to believe that you will get out of there okay.
Yeah.
If you choose not to get out of there, I don't think it's possible, then you will not. You can only assume.
This reminds me, when I was flying to Bali, there was a moment I really fucked up. Like, I really fucked up. I went to the domestic airport side, not the international airport side. So I had like my bags and shit. I'm just sitting there cruising like, yeah, I'm like, where's the? And then I remember like I kind of like waited till I went to the boarding area, and I'm like, this isn't my flight. And then the worry starts hitting me, and I'm like, oh shit, mate, I'm fucking up somehow. And then I realized that it was literally the other side of the entire airport. But I'm not talking just run around. I'm talking catch a shuttle bus, go through traffic, and like at least 1 to 2 kilometers away of driving, then going through the fucking security again. And I had 15 minutes to the flight late. But here's the thing, during that period, like, just fucking, that sense of disappointment was coming, like, what the fuck? Just like, absolute, like, shame of myself. I'm like, that is the most rookie fucking move you could have done. But I was like, no, like, postpone that thought. I'm like, you can either be fully in right now or fully out. You either have the shame or you're like, it's go time. And like, I've never felt this level of presentness since my soccer days. I think that's why I love sport so much. But literally, like, I had my bag on as I waited and shit. I was like eating a sandwich. I'm like halfway through the fucking sandwich. I'm like, I'm still kind of hungry. So I'm like, but then I fucking started sprinting, bro. And then I like went outside to the bus, and like there's like this really overweight lady just fucking driving it. And I'm like how long to the other side? And she's like, oh, like 15 minutes. I'm like, my flight's in 15 minutes. We gotta go. And she's like, oh, get inside. We're fucking driving every stop, and every stop I'm putting everyone's fucking luggage in there for them. Like, they think I fucking work there. I'm just like, get in the fucking bus.
Yeah.
And I remember just like waiting for it to like stop at the other side. Like it was just like go time, you know? The moment it stops, you're fucking sprinting. And that was like when I was really like, oh man, this is like all in or fucking nothing mentality. There was no like doubt. Like I remember thinking during it, I'm like, you cannot even think this is not going to happen. Like you're not going to board the flight if you want this to work. Because then you're not going to sprint the same way. Then you're not going to fucking be that solution oriented in the check-ins and all of that. And literally, I fucking made it, bro. I fucking made it. I remember I was sprinting and they're like, last boarding for flight 52 or whatever. And I'm like, yes! Like they fucking waited. And I made it, but like, I've never been so pumped in my life. But that happened because it was like absolute fucking belief.
Yeah, we could just give it up and go on the next flight, which is fine. But it's just the assumption that...
Yeah, but the next day...
And the next day?
Yeah, like there was...
That's pretty
brutal.
brutal.
It was like fucking the last flight, like there was no way. I was being massively pissed off if I didn't make it. But going to what you said, there's got to be 100% conviction. It's the best strategy, even if I didn't make it.
Yeah, it's so true, isn't it? That's why it seems so obvious. It's just pure belief. And that's why it's even important to even have people surround you that, even irrespective of what you choose to believe in, they'll still believe that you're still going for it.
Yeah. And it's like when you have full conviction about an idea and you somehow find a way to get people on board with it, even though you had like barely any leverage.
Yeah.
It's like you had so much conviction. Like, oh, this guy's either a maniac or he's got some form of truth to this thing.
Yeah. We used to see it in history as well. All the guys who achieved what nobody else thought was possible. Everyone around them was saying it's not possible, it's not this, even if it's not scientifically accurate at the time, but they still had that vision. Whatever that is, I'm not too sure. If you look at all the Elon Musks and everything, they just were relentless towards what they believed in. And everyone probably would have just said, no, it's not possible. You can't go to space, or come on, let's be realistic here. Even to Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos, no, you can't do that. And they just kept believing, that's it.
Well,
That's really it.
Science is trying to catch up to reality.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's what science is. Science is like trying to understand what is already there.
They understand the universal truths.
So are we that naive to think there's probably shit we don't understand yet?
Oh, yeah.
Like seriously, if you think about it,
That's what science is, really. Everyone is their own scientist.
it's trying to identify how this world works, but it's fucking complicated.
That's hard too, because you start wondering if it's the observer, if that has an effect or not. Which is funny.
I think people struggle with it because there's like fear. There's fear of like, what if? You know, what if it doesn't work? What if I spend 20 years of my life in this career path and then it doesn't work?
Yeah.
Or it's not the thing I could have done.
It is a good point actually, because it's hard to come, because we have biases in terms of where we are right now. It's hard to imagine yourself in that position of when you first started, because even when I started Braden, it was, you kind of had that little fear. What happens if it doesn't, what to you leaving university, what happens if it doesn't work out? Your parents said X, Y, Z, what if they're right? And you got to overcome that to realize, oh, that's just irrational to have that view. That's just as irrational as saying, what if it doesn't work out, then what if it does work out?
Exactly.
They're both the same concept.
And I think if you can do like a risk assessment, you know, what's the worst case? Like really?
Yeah, logically look at it.
Like when I left Sydney for the first time, it was really like, well, I could always just fly back. You know, if I quit my job, if I quit this and I'll leave my family, it's like, just fly back. And go speak to the fucking manager and say, yo, let's go.
Yeah.
You know, like it's really not, I think people dramatize things a bit. There's a bit of scarcity mindset. So much, even getting jobs, it's like, shouldn't be hard. Like, I don't even try to get jobs, but like, we know that if we try to get a job, we will. Because we believe it and we come in with that confidence. But like, I speak to people, they're like, oh, but then I have to find another job. I'm like, do you know how easy that shit is?
It's just a belief. So that's all it is, really. It's just a your self-inflicted belief system that you put on yourself.
Yeah.
That's why it's quite fascinating.
There's always levels to it. And you get to another level, you can find yourself having the doubts again, and then you have to revisit.
There's always,
There's always levels.
You get a new level, oh, you get that feeling of fear, which is normally, that's just I find that those feelings of fear, it's what happens for us in business. You start pursuing something which no one has done, you get that feeling of fear, oh, what if it doesn't? Then you realize, you sit there and analyze, normally on the other side of that fear is the feeling of joy, getting past that. Because you now understand that anything's possible. You walk through that fear, it's super important. But it still gets you. You're still human at the end of the day. You still have those natural...
Yeah, it's very easy to fall out of it. But that's why it's like having things in your life of like the recurring reminder.
Yeah.
Like that's obviously soul, that's the weekly portal, whatever it is. But having some regular reminder of just understanding how the world works in regards to vibrational frequency, it's just good to keep you in perspective.
Because you start to forget, it's funny how the brain does it. It almost wants to, it's like amnesia. It almost kind of wants to forget in some certain way. It goes back into the routine of being human, survival, the rat race, the hamster wheel. And you gotta pause and go, I'm actually running this. I'm choosing to run in this hamster wheel. It's my decision to step in here and go after things that I'm choosing to go after that nobody else believes in. It's actually me, I'm choosing. It's like, I feel bad about myself. I'm the victim of my own reality. Fantastic. You realize that, and you go, oh, fine, I chose this.
It's almost like the subconscious mind, like coming back in of maybe old limiting beliefs, and then like your conscious comes in, and you're like, oh, okay, no, that's not true. You know, the reminder. And even I'm thinking how much of that is like subconscious, or the reptilian part of our brain, which is more of like the fight or flight responses.
Yeah, it's almost like an important mechanism, because if you were just almost conscious the whole time, it's quite hard to do anything. Versus if you set the intention, let's say for the one day, you set your intentions for the week. I'm going to do this. I'm going to gymming every day. Then it almost feels like it's like you fall into that. You fall into that person, and then you get those feelings. Oh, go to the gym. You go to the gym. Because once you think too much, that's a problem. It's when you're not thinking, you're letting your subconscious just almost direct you throughout the day based on the intentions you set, say last week on Sunday. That's not the key. It's quite hard. You're thinking all day, thinking about what to do. Well, you already know what to do based on what you've set your subconscious. You've almost programmed it.
I like to, like for example, even yesterday, last night, I was like writing down in a journal, main things I wanted done, you know, and then writing down the priorities and why. So that way I've got like I like to just simplify as much as possible. Like here's top 3, boom. So that way, it's like if I'm feeling any sense of like, oh, what do I do now? I just go, oh wait, these are priorities. It's like quick reminder, just simple. You just keep an easy way, something at hand that can remind you of your top priorities, and then you can kind of like reevaluate and be like, all right, now based on this and what I've done today, what should I do next?
Yeah. And then we realize as well, you have complete control over your subconscious. It's not something that directs you. It's why you can even set experiments and start saying to yourself, wake me up. It's like you can zoom out of your own brain, your subconscious, and then consciously go, oh, brain, hello Mr. Brain, wake me up at 8 a.m. today. You will wake me up at 8 a.m. You've control over who you are. I will train tomorrow at this time. Your then subconscious knows. And it's like you can use it as a tool to guide you. Okay, please, can you do this? Can you remind me? We always forgot that can you set this, can you set a reminder?
Internal alarm clock.
Yeah, can you set a reminder for me at 4 p.m. to message this person? We've just lost faith in our subconscious because it's quite powerful in terms of what it can do.
That's very true. Every time, like I know I gotta wake up early. Like I know I set an alarm anyways, but I always like set an intention in my brain. I visualize waking up early,
That's the key.
and I end up waking up like just before the alarm.
Always.
Just before it. Like I'll wake up and then it goes boom, and I'm like, I'm up, motherfucker.
Got you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I beat you. Stupid technology.
Yeah. It's so true. It's like you can already see proof
Yeah.
of that in those little things.
Yeah, that's when you start to understand how powerful it is. You can really start coding it. That's the way I see it.
Yeah. You're just training yourself. You're training your brain.
It all comes back to all the similar things that everyone knows, like the whole red car theory, that whole thing.
Yeah.
You pay somebody money to go see a red car, they'll see red cars, and that's when they fall short. Or is it, well, pay somebody to see million-dollar ideas, or pay somebody to see these solutions to problems in their business and whatnot, they should be able to see them. You have control.
That's all it is too, yeah.
You have complete control over whatever you want your brain to do.
Even like mentorships as an example, it's just like and I know this about myself. I'll pay someone something to teach me things I knew I would have like kind of already known, but I just want them to. I almost just want to feel their energy.
Yeah.
And like kind of instill the belief into me about the information, so I can like hear it different.
Yeah.
But it's really, I'm like just paying you so I can perceive the same information differently.
Yeah. Plus, they can word it in a more refined way. 'Cause it is quite hard. You can learn everything yourself, but when
You can, but
somebody's an expert.
sometimes it's hard though, because like you'll have the information, but then it's like, oh well, then I got to filter, and then I got to know the place that it has. So you almost pay just for someone to be like, hey, no, don't worry about that. This is true, but like only at this point in time.
Yeah.
And like they give you context, and then you can just register it on a complete different level. Like I pay $3,000 to that Speakers Institute thing. They're gonna be like, hold your elbows up when you fucking. I'm gonna forget all that shit I know, but I just want the reps almost.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to be in the field of it, so I can feel it.
Yeah.
That's literally it.
Or at least somebody to say, oh no, it's so easy for me, you can do this. I've done it, you can do it too.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to visualize yourself and be able to do it, let's say, becoming a master or speaking and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because when you directly speak to somebody, like, I've done it, I went through this, you can easily do it. You're almost creating that visual picture for you to then step into.
Even the Speakers Institute, I paid knowing Like it was really just like I just want to be around the energy of the whole like the stage speaking and all of that. Like literally that's always what I went back to. I was just like I just want to be around it.
Yeah.
Like I'll pay for it because I just want to be around it. That like the information is almost like secondary relative to that. Because I almost trust that like the information shit, once you're really congruent and authentic, even in that setting, if you're speaking, you'll come out right
Yeah.
and you'll be receptive to the audience.
Well, same as all those events, because even Liverpool's the events that they go to, even there's that Tiny Lopez one that my friends went to, well, they give you all the notes at the end of it. They say, oh, you guys already knew this, but then you not take away the fact that they're stepping into the energy of everyone else there, that motivating energy which can completely shift you.
Yeah.
That can then shift you into the change. You look at it, you're like, oh fuck, you guys knew all this stuff, like the visualizing, the I am stuff, all this. So it was quite simple. You guys are experts, you know this, but it's just the energy which you're saying you step into. And you're in a whole entire room of everyone wanting to improve, you're going to feel that as well. And everyone's going to walk away, they're going to walk away completely motivated, wanting to change.